Okay, so welcome to, I'm calling it heart healing workshop today because it's really about heart healing, and I'm going to talk a little bit about what's related to that because it's not only about the heart. And today we're going to do some energy healing and shadow work, and it's something that we haven't done in that way in these workshops, in this membership. And I'm going to guide you through a hypnotic process so that you meet the shadow part of you. But I want to talk a little bit about it so that you really get clear actually what do you want to focus on and what is the issue that is coming up. And we spoke earlier on Facebook group that you both want to be focusing on receiving more. Is it receiving more love, abundance, receiving everything with ease and grace and with high confidence, right? Yeah, that's what I thought. And we have some journaling prompts. I can post them to the group and to the website as well, so you can really get connected. And if there's any intensive emotions, anything coming up after the workshop, because we're going to do the shadow work, it could be that it's triggering something, please reach out to me or help, because sometimes it's causing emotions before it's going. So really today we're going to focus on the heart healing. I'm going to make it really gentle, but the parts that we are not accepting ourselves, they usually causes the issues. And sometimes when we talk about the shadow work, the people who annoy us, people who piss us off and push all our buttons, who trigger us, they have something that we need to heal. So it's always a good way to find the shadow. The shadow is the abandoned part of you that you feel ashamed about. Maybe you feel like you're playing small, or maybe you feel like you have too many fears. Maybe you feel like you're the victim. Maybe you blame all the other people. Maybe you're really angry and you punish yourself for that because you're angry. But that's part of one of the normal healthy emotions, is to feel anger. But many of us were raised as good, kind girls, and I know people in these memberships, they all have big hearts, and everybody in here has you all really empathetic and nurturing others, and often being there for the others to help, right? Is that correct? Yeah. And you really trust a friend because you're always there. But if I'm guessing it right, you abandon your own needs, your desires. It's difficult for you to set the boundaries. Keep the boundaries and even do the work and see how do you want to, what is not acceptable for you anymore. So one of the questions I want you to start asking yourself when you are facing obstacles in your daily life, because your daily life is showing everything what you need to heal and want to heal, because that's how it works. That's what you attract. And is to ask, what is not acceptable for you anymore? And that's the way you start setting the boundary, like what is not acceptable for you anymore. Maybe it's like somebody speaking to you in certain ways, or maybe it's the boundary that you need to set for yourself, that you don't use your all day, every day for just scrolling social media, not doing the things that you want to do. This is just an example. So these boundaries are super important, and they are energetic. They could be mental boundaries, physical boundaries, and especially when we talk about the intimacy, what kind of a boundary is, what is not okay for you, and learning to express your boundaries in a healthy way is the way that we're doing that, in the form of I feel, not saying you always do this, that's the easiest, we always say you always do this to me, you always blah 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 blah. But the healthy way to express your boundaries is to I feel it doesn't feel good for me anymore, and this is not acceptable for me anymore. It's like learning a new language, how to express yourself in relationship. And I'm talking about relationship, any relationships here. It could be a relationship with the boss, your co-worker. And when you becoming clear of what is not acceptable for you anymore, you of course become clear, like what is that, what you want, and you feel more empowered. But I want to talk today about the chakras actually that are related to this, because we're going to do some energy work. And we talked about earlier that there's so many things that affect us. And even though there is a childhood conditioning, the beliefs are always energetic, also energetic blocks in our bodies. So it's all connected, the mind, the body, the heart, or the spirit, or your higher self. And energy is the common factor that is connecting these three parts. And the chakras are the energy centers. And today I want to focus on your heart chakra, your solar plexus chakra that's above your belly button, and then the lower chakra, which is the root chakra. And that is something that actually manifests. And the mother wounds are there, and the overgiver is there. And I'm going to show you a picture. Let's see if I can share here. Find it first. Where did that go? I want to show this picture so you get the grasp. You don't need to know everything. You don't need to study everything, but I want you to understand a little bit about the archetypes that are related to the shadows and the chakras. And there's different names for these archetypes. So I can't remember who created these, but for example, Caroline Myss is an old school healer, and she has created the archetypes. And today, when we are talking about there's the seventh, the crown chakra is on top of the head. Third eye is, of course, in between the eyes, or center of the forehead, throat chakra. But when we're talking about the heart chakra in here, the love, the free of the spirit, generous, happy, touch with the feeling, sense of movement, but also the inner child is there in your heart chakra. And related to this work, the inner child needs healing. And we have already one module in the works, in the membership. And I really encourage you to do the work so that you make it conscious and consistent work that you do every day, connecting with your inner child, asking what she needs, giving that to her, because that's how you actually learn to start doing the things that you want to do and choosing you instead of others. But it's not all that, because when we are looking at the negative sides of this, if the heart chakra is blocked, they hide the dark feelings. I'm talking about the anger, I'm talking about the resentment, I'm talking about the shame, very common feelings, and they're causing a lot of blocks. And your power is there, but your power, it's the heart chakra and the lowest chakra, the first chakra, that actually when they are connected, you feel extremely empowered. So I'm talking about self-love in here, because as you know, as much as you love yourself, you can love others and others can love you that much, right? And focusing on self-love, self-acceptance is helping you to heal the shadows, accept who you are. When we're doing the shadow work, it's really pure acceptance, like I love all the parts of me. And when we are seeing those shadow sides of us, we accept them, and we don't have to do actually much about it. We need to take healthy action so that we actually help to heal the shadow, but we integrate with that shadow by seeing the shadow And as I'm guiding you through the process, you visualize the shadow. How does she look like? Or he, one of my shadows were like a really fat teenager boy. And one of the shadow was like tiny, tiny little doll or some kind of a little creature. So, and one was the shadow like a ghost that was so hard to catch when I was healing the hustling in me, because she was so busy, or he was so busy, I don't even know what that was, but eventually it became a beautiful butterfly when I was healing that. And I was using visualizations because quite intuitively. So allow yourself to throw yourself into this beautiful process and accepting yourself and empowering yourself, all those dark sides as well, because when we're doing that, they go away. And you see a big changes happening in your life and how you feel about yourself. It's like collecting the parts back in you and empowering you. Does that make sense? You can ask questions anytime, please. Yes, I can share this PDF in the group. Yes, absolutely. And I encourage you to look into this. You can do so much when you're working with the chakras. YouTube is full of meditations, healing, music. You can use this mantras like for the third chakra, the solar plexus, the mantra is Ram, and you can use Ram, 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 Ram. You can use these fun things because it resonates in your body in the certain ways. And the third chakra, that's the power and the self-worth and the confidence. So we have in the membership, we have the workshops that helps you to release the childhood conditioning. And but today we focus more likely on you. We go back to the memories that are related to the shadow, of course, because it's all interconnected. But the third chakra is the one who is the kind of the heroine, the woman warrior, the confident you that goes on her journey and does what she wants and harness the willpower. And when the heart is healed, she does that from love and not from the neediness, not from the place of struggling or forcing or selfishness. And when I've been working with overgivers, people pleasers, people who have confidence issues, it's always we need to heal the ego and become really clear of what the mind says, and accepting that they have to take responsibility what they are creating, how they are actually communicating with others. Because quite often people who are very sensitive, they learned in a childhood to use kind of a hone the sensitiveness so that they started sensing the energies. It's like a self-protection, that they became so sensitive. They had the quality already, but as they were always fine-tuning and connecting with other people's emotions and pleasing other people that way, collecting the emotions for them because they intuitively knew what they would need, and comforting other people who overpowered them. Maybe the parents, maybe they were the siblings, maybe they were teachers. This is how we start changing ourselves for other people, right? And losing the confidence, losing the self-esteem, losing the sense of self, and becoming the cute girls. And that, of course, there's a history why we have been there, but now we are women empowering women, and this is the new way, and we can start doing this healing in a very loving, gentle ways and not going to the war. So I'm not going to say that. This is not about men or women. This is about empowerment of the self. So when the third chakra is not aligned, when it's imbalanced, it undervalues itself. Does it ring the bell? Do you value yourself? Do you appreciate yourself? Do you see how much you give? Do you value your own time? Do you value your own energy? Do you see how much you do for everybody else on a daily basis? Do you honor yourself, how much you do actually for the others? Does your money matter? You know, because when this is imbalanced, you know, it could be that you don't appreciate your own time, and that could mean that you have all the time in the world to do something that makes you feel bad about yourself. You don't appreciate your time. You don't have any boundaries at all. You can use 3 hours for something or watch Netflix, and that makes you feel bad if you're not doing and choosing that consciously. So learning to listen to your own inner talk and learning to take responsibility of that talk and how do you express yourself, and really focusing on, are you giving from the heart because you want to? And I don't look at this only from the professional perspective, but also and especially from the personal perspective, so that it's part of the family life. This is part of the relationship. This is part of, like, when we are talking about the pleasure, you know, having connection with others and expressing ourselves. Do you have the confidence to say what you need? Or do you just do what you have always done because you feel like that's the way you should be? And when we talk about sex, you know, what's happening in bed, do you just do the things, do you just, because you're thinking of what the other person wants? When we talk about relationship, do you just do things for them? And I see this a lot happening with my mother clients, for example. They feeling passive aggressive, really resentful, because I'm doing all the homework, you know, I'm taking care of all the chores, cleaning up the kitchen, nobody else does anything. And, you know, this is typical. But what if they do that from the place of that they choosing to do that? I choose to clean up the kitchen and everybody enjoys, especially myself, because it's so clean and shiny and bright. And I do that when I have time to do that. I do that when I feel good about myself. So there's a big difference. And how we are communicating to each other. Are we looking at each other into the eyes? Are we speaking honestly? Do you have high integrity? So it's really about when you start loving yourself and appreciating yourself, appreciating your time, that is part of the abundance. Time is part of the abundance, and your time matters. No matter what you choose to do, it matters. You know, do you have time? Do you just say yes to everybody who asks you out and you have to take like a 6-hour train trip to go to them? You know, do you just say, and then later you think like, why did I do that? Oh my God, so much effort. This is a typical people pleaser behavior. Or that you think without saying that it's your responsibility to do some things at home, in the relationship. So I want you to really start listing all the things that you do and start seeing actually how much you do. And I'm talking about everything. You can list all the things that you do at work, all of the things that you do at home, and make an inventory. See how much time you use for that. Is it really valuable for you? Do you waste your time? Could you delegate it to somebody else? Could you hire some help? Or can you just say to a family member, this is your job now? So acknowledgement is really big part of the third chakra. And it's your inner sun. So you can use these visualizations. It's like your sun is shining. All the sun rays are shining out of your body. And that's filtering all the shit coming in, you know, that's like blocking everything because you're shining, so your light's so bright. Then the sacral chakra, it's important. It's part of the pleasure. It's part of the well-being, sexuality, and abundance, creativity as well. That's your creative force. And when your creative forces are in balance, you create, you know how to address your creativity. And of course, when it's in balance with the other chakras, you do that, and you do that, and then you do something else, and then you enjoy yourself, which is part of the sacral chakra, so that you don't overwork, because it's part of the pleasure. So it's really part of the martyr, as I said, like the mom example, like suffering, unable to make the changes, not taking their power back, just doing the things because they have to, and not seeing that they could actually make the changes happening. And pleasure and fun. And this is related to your inner child as well, of course, your heart chakra. So pleasure and fun. What are your values? What do you value most in life? Is it having fun, freedom, independence? It's really good to get clear, like, what are your important values, and cherish and hone those values every day in your life. In the inner child module, there is a list of the activities, things that you love to do and love to do as a child. I encourage you to go back to that list or do that list, so that you remind yourself, what do you need to bring into your life more to feel free, to feel creative, to feel empowered, have that pleasure and playfulness, which is part of the sexuality, right? The lightness. And why I'm not talking about the upper chakras in here, because we're too much in our heads and we need more grounding. Way too much in here. Here, and we need more grounding, because that's how we manifest. So your visions, your intuition, everything is there, but it's not healthy. There's no balance if your lower chakras are high up as well. But I have to tell you, that's been my problem, like my whole life, until I started doing the energy healing and really rooting down every day. And it made a big difference how I feel. Neutral, worthy. And, it was part of the energy healing, part of the mental conditioning healing, and part of doing this kind of work. But inner child is the answer to everything. So you really connect with that beautiful, she needs you. Because when we're talking about the first chakra, you can see the word mother there, and the mother wounds are there. And even though we have a relationship with the father and the male characters in our lives, that's the masculine energy and related to making money. It's the nourishment. If you focus on others all the time, if you're craving love, if you are addicted to love, if you see that you are entering in a new relationship and you start behaving differently, suddenly your own needs won't matter. You won't go out with your friends anymore. This is very typical. That happens to women, that they fully focus on the relationship, right? Anybody recognizing themselves in here? Yeah. And of course it's lovely because it's happening and it's new love. Of course you should enjoy that, but you should not forget yourself. And this is like when we are seeing that the old wounds are triggering because you crave love, you drink love, you need it to feel good. And we can't, nobody else can really give you the love that you need from yourself. And you can enjoy the love, because a healthy love in the relationship, in the grown-up relationship, that's equal. There's a balance. There's a relationship bubble, then there's the individuals. So it's not like everybody's in the same pot and you don't have your own needs, your work doesn't matter, you just like push your boundaries or release all your boundaries and you just start focusing on the other. So this is super important when you are manifesting love and willing to create a relationship, you know, get really clear what kind of person do you want to meet. Go back to your old relationships, what didn't work, what kind of a people you actually attracted. Were they overpowering? Were they supporting? Were they empowering? What happened to you when you entered in these relationships? How did you start behaving? And how did the relationship end up? And this is a good work to do even though you are in the relationship, because you always learn. And we can heal so much when we are in our existing relationship. We can change the relationship by healing, and we can change, and others can change when we are changing and healing. I see this really powerful. It's super powerful, but of course, if it's really toxic, very unhealthy, you know, then it's not worth to continue that any kind of a toxic relationship. So the root chakra, that's where you manifest, that's where you create, that's keeping you grounded in the world, and you feel more present, you feel like a tree. That's really like you feel like a tree, and you express yourself from that place, because everything else is in balance. And of course we go back and forth, so there's always like some healing to do when we are moving forward, when we are daring ourselves to go after our desires and doing things. So that's the thing. But the mother wounds are often born when we are born, and we see things happening to our mothers, with our mothers, that relationship, and often the abandonment happens. And quite often we think that, you know, it didn't happen with the mother, but it's often happening with the mothers as well. So ability to nourish yourself and others in a very healthy way, sensitivity, harmony. I would say wisdom is part of this as well. Connecting with your wisdom, giving and helping others from the place of wisdom, not like shoveling your guidance, which is part of the codependent behavior, that, you know, we want to give all the guidance to our children and everybody else, and we're just there to listen. And that is our way to feel important. And the victim is the negative, if this chakra is imbalanced, the victim mentality is part of it. Reliant on external world, reliant to others, dependent on others, feeling helpless, fear, disempowered. It's money can't flow, abundance can't flow, nothing can flow, because there's so much fear that is blocking that. And you crave safety, harmony. Root chakra, part of the root chakra is also family and safety. Feeling safe, feeling grounded, feeling secure, taking responsibility from that place. It's beautiful when you start creating and taking responsibility, and you see and you feel very empowered, because you learn like, hey, I can change this. This is up to me. This is not about others. And you empower yourself that way. Do you have any questions about this chakra? Or any chakras?
No, but that was very interesting to see it from that perspective. That was
yeah, and there's a lot more. So if you're interested in more, you know, please look up things. But it's super important, and you know, grounding, and it's beautiful when you start healing this. You visualize the colors and what is most important to you, and focus on one chakra at the time. And let's see if there's something coming up for you clearly, like what is that? What do you want to focus on today? So let's see. Or today or later, after this workshop. All right, so when we are talking about overgiving, so when I'm talking about overgiving, how does that look like, in your life? And I'm talking about overgiving, meaning that you give up on your own needs, your desires, your boundaries. And man, that makes you angry when you do that, because that's self-betrayal. Therefore, the anger, feeling like others are just taking in what you have to give, feeling that you're putting things out there and nobody responds, for example, you start feeling resentful, and that's a normal thing. We're not here to judge. We're just going to see and find out what's happening in these kind of situations. So, for example, when we're talking about conscious women entrepreneurs world, and you put yourself out there and you want more visibility, you want people to see that when you're sending your social media posts, whatever you do from the place of neediness and thinking oh my God, million people is going to like that, and it doesn't happen, you feel disappointed. You feel it's not working. You lose hope. You give up. You become angry, helpless. I don't know what to do. This is how this pattern looks like. This is just an example, but I see that a lot, and God damn it, I have been there myself. When we are doing things and giving from the place of neediness, or giving a gift for somebody and thinking they are going to give us back the same, or always giving a little bit more to somebody that they just gave us, just putting a little bit more out there. So I would love you to think about, how are you overgiving, people pleasing in your own life now? I'll give you a few minutes so you can write down those things. How are you overgiving? How are you pleasing too much? Are you sacrificing your own life, your time, your money, your values for something? Are you needy? Are you dependable or dependent on others somehow? It's not necessarily a bad thing when you are, but if there's imbalance, then it's something to look into, because you don't probably like that. Do you feel like a victim of the circumstances? And it could be that you're a victim of COVID. So it's not about people, but it's victim of the circumstances. Are you victim of what's happening at work? Victim of what's happening at home? Somebody's behaving, repeating a pattern that pisses you off, and you can't change that. You can't do anything about it. Or so you think. We can always do things. So there's always, always, always possibilities to change.
But when you overgive, but you also do it from a place of love, how do you do the difference?
And it's okay. If it doesn't make you feel bad, if it doesn't make you feel resentful, you give it, you do it. But do you get back to what do you need? Are your needs fulfilled?
Because I do it from, I'm not resentful, I think. But if there is a but, maybe I don't feel the resentment, but I wish there would be something back.
And what that would be? What do you wish to get back?
Something like that is more balance. So I'm happy to give,
Mhm.
but it's always unbalanced because yeah, that's how we are as mothers, right? We're used to give, and then
Mhm.
like, okay, can I have some?
That's hard. Yeah, that's about receiving. That's a receiving issue because you believe somehow that you don't get it back. There's a block here. Somehow you believe that you need to give to earn it back. There's ego here as well. It's okay. So self-worth issue. Do you feel like you're deserving to get back that? Have you ever actually got back unconditionally like that? That you're just giving and you just give and you don't even expect anything to come back, then it's pure.
Okay.
Does that make
Yeah.
sense?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's where we are aiming for, and that's when the heart is healed and the root has been healed, and these chakras that we have been talking about, you give from the place of love, feeling neutral. I don't need anything back. I'm serving, I'm giving, feeding my child or whatever it is, and
it's more by wave. Like when you do it, you do it like that. You don't expect anything. You're happy to do it.
yes,
You have joy
yes,
back because you give. But then at some point you look back and you like, I've been giving and giving and giving, like when you don't feel so good, and then you feel, I wish today I will get something back. But it doesn't happen when you at the time where you give, because if I understand, if it happened at the same time when you give, then it kind of, it's tainted. It's not, then you don't give joyfully.
And
so
quite often it can come back from different sources, and then you don't even pay attention how much you give back. So paying attention how much you get, how much you do, praising yourself, acknowledging the self lovingly is important. Do you know what I'm saying? So I can't really picture, if you would describe me an example, maybe that would be easier. But you give from the place of love because you want to, because you have chosen to do, because you know it's going to make others feel good or help them somehow, for example. You do that.
You feel yourself doing it. I mean,
yes, absolutely. When you feel yourself doing it, and when it comes back, you look back like, oh, I want that. That's a belief, kind of a trigger in there. I never got back to what I gave. And maybe you got it from some other sources, or maybe that's not important, but when you are looking back in that way and feeling like resentful, I never got that back. That's the ego, that's the mind, there's a belief related to self-worth and issues.
Okay.
It's pretty brutal, but it's interesting. It's interesting because when you are learning to tap into this kind of an energy, more connected with your heart, giving from the heart, and just putting it out there, whatever it is that you do, helping your neighbor, you just do that because you want to, not because you have to, because you have been raised to do that. Do you know what I'm saying? And then you just leave it, and then you choose to feel good about yourself. I help people, that's great, I did a good thing, and then you move on. You don't think about it. And this is how we manifest. This is how it comes back to us from different sources. So let's say if you want to manifest, what could be? Give me an example. What is that where you want to create in your life right now?
Yeah, you're thinking the neighbor. I was thinking like you were, but I don't have resentment, but like I've begun to work for free a little bit, but I experienced joy doing it. And so, yeah, I see what you mean, like that you move on and then it will come back another way from a different source. Like it's not,
it depends what you want. So if you need money for the work, then you just have to think about it in this way, that you choose how much you do in this free work for them. And then you need to do some money making activities so that you can make money in some other sources, because now you're not appreciating your time and effort actually. Because let's say you would be working for free for this charity or whatever for 8 hours per day. You don't have any energy left to work with your business or your clients, right?
Mm-hmm.
You sacrifice your time, your energy, your efforts, because you give for free, but you don't focus on what actually can make you money, your income, so that you can actually fulfill your needs, pay the bills, the rent. And this is related to money now. So it's like, and learning that you deserve to receive, you deserve to become financially independent, you deserve to get always back for, because if you're doing like charity work, you always use money for it. You go there, you know, you spend your time, you use your energy, you give a lot to them. It's abundance. Yeah, you're sharing abundantly and
Yeah.
your time. But you know, if you're not focusing on making money, it doesn't come to you. You have to focus on making money. Money making activities are important. So you need to seek these opportunities, make time for making money for your business or finding a job that pays you, because you deserve, you are worthy to have all your needs fulfilled.
Mm-hmm.
Have income. We all need money. And you're not actually doing that. So basically you're showing the universe, I don't need money. I can do this for free forever.
That's
Yes,
true. Yep. Yeah.
that was a helpful example. Thank you. Did it help? Is it clear?
Yeah.
So you're showing the universe, you have this pattern. I can do anything for free. I don't need anything. And when you don't need anything, how can it come to you?
Yeah, that's exactly what I do. Yeah. I don't
So
need
you overgiver is active here. Okay, great. Thank you for sharing. All right. So any other questions? Nope. Let's see where we are. So we were journaling about it, and now I want you to think about what is that? What do you want to change? What is not acceptable for you anymore? Emma probably got some good ideas. How do you overgive? How do you people please? How do you waste your time, your energy with something that doesn't work for you? Oh, I forgot to tell you, this is like the root chakra when we're talking about the prostitute archetype, when we're talking about Caroline Myce's work. It's the prostitute archetype that I want you to Google, and that's related to root chakra and manifesting. And prostitute, you know what prostitute does, and it doesn't mean that we sell sex for money, but we sell everything for money. We give discount, we give just people please in different ways. You know, we don't value our time, ourselves, our efforts. That's like a selling cheap. We're super tired and we say, I can do this, you know, I can do everything. What do you need? What others need? And that's the way we are actually disempowering others. So I hear a lot about like people who are nurturing others too much, you know, they make, especially when we talk about the kids, they make them dependent because they don't give responsibility for the kids. Like take responsibility of your own things, cleaning up, whatever it is. And that's healthy to let go. It's healthy to let go. What do you need to let go of right now? We can't change the past. We don't need to change the past. Don't think about the past. Think about what you want to change and let go of now. And when we talk about the overgiver, she thinks that she doesn't need any attention. She likes to give to others, hoping that it comes back to her, that her actions, behavior are being rewarded later. I see this a lot in men too, so it's not only women. I am enoughness, I'm not enough belief is related to this a lot. And in the end, overgivers often think that they're bad somehow because they have resentful thoughts, or they think bad about others because they don't give them what they actually need. But others can't give because they can't receive, and you receive from the heart. Overgivers often think that their actions are being rewarded, but their voice doesn't matter because they don't dare to share or ask things for themselves. And really, it's becoming really brutal and asking yourself what feels right to me. What is that what I want? And finding the courage and start doing things, behaving differently. We can do all kind of a programming and all kind of a things, but you need to learn to behave differently. Sometimes it's against your mind, against your thoughts. That your thoughts are saying like, hey, you shouldn't say that because you can hurt the other. And this is typical people pleaser behavior, that they think what others are thinking or feeling, and they believe that they are hurting others what they say by what they say, and then they don't say that. But it's not your responsibility to take care of other people's emotions. Your responsibility is to speak up and say what you need and not believe and trust that others can read your mind or your needs. So this is a learning curve, and changing the behavior consciously, doing the inner work, and then seeing how it actually all this affects you, and then changing the behavior and doing the energy work so that you feel empowered. So it's really about integrity and being brutally honest with yourself and with others. And when you are, you don't betray yourself. You don't feel bad about yourself. You feel like aligned, centered. And when you're taking action from that place, things can come back to you and you're learning to receive. And now when we're talking about the receiving part, I want you to pay attention, like when somebody wants to offer you a lunch or a drink or compliments you or whatever is that, receive it. Just say, thank you. Oh, that was so nice of you, just receive these things. And just pay attention when you give, how others are responding. Are they saying thank you? Are they receiving? Are they able to receive? It's interesting just to observe how people behave. But you especially focus on your chest and on your heart area and opening it up. And it's a good way to lie on the floor every day. Put the pillow behind your upper back. Yoga is a great way to balance your energies if you're into it. Put the pillow behind your back and open up your heart every day. Open up your heart. So tension, because quite often our shoulders are moving forward when we are doing a lot of work and stuff. And then from that place, just daydream, receive it, receive the good energies. Take it in, take it in, take it in. You deserve it. Drink it. And part of the receiving is making space for receiving. Because when we are in the doing mode, this is something that I talked with with one of the clients this week. When we are taking a lot of action, and it depends like how you work. You know, sometimes we work like 3 hours in the straight, and you're just like on the mode of taking action. And whatever it is your way of working, allow yourself to do that what you feel like doing, and then take a break and see what you did. Because your mind is so busy and involved with that doing. Take some space so that it all can sink in and you ground your energies again. And a good grounding energy is something that we're going to start with that. So you'll learn how to do it, but it's very simple. You put your feet on the ground, you sit on the chair, and you imagine that you're connecting with the earth, Mother Earth. You're growing roots down, down, down towards the earth. And you feel the warmth under your feet. And you're rooting down, really rooting down. And then you're connecting with your heart. And then you're connecting with your higher self. And you're just being present and open yourself up, imagining like a yellow color. It could be something that if you're working with the root chakra, but yellow is really good, a golden color. I think we did we did the chakra healing meditation in some point, and that's exactly what I forgot to record, by the way, so we can do that again. But yeah, so really rooting down daily basis. Do this, it will help you to activate your root chakra, your Muladhara chakra. And you don't have to consciously understand, but you can picture these colors. If you want to activate it, you can wear red underwear, red shirts, you know, something red or yellow or orange or green. See what's coming up. See the signs. Allow yourself to see the signs that universe is sending you. This is a fun game that you walk in there and see what kind of colors you see. Okay, let's do it that way. It's going to be fun. And you need to go up. And root chakra, by the way, it loves exercise. And so your solar plexus, you know, so that you're rooting down, good exercise, play tennis, let go of that pressure, go for a run, workout class, something really active. Yes. Okay. If you need to yawn.
Annie, can I ask a question?
Yes.
This may be a little out of left field and moving in another direction, but I was just thinking about the chakras and the energy centers in human design.
Yeah.
And I mean, how directly do you think those relate to one another? I mean, like for example, I know that I have an undefined root center.
Yeah.
So I have like a hard time grounding and all of that. Like, do you think that this is related to like healing that needs to be done on the root chakra, or okay?
I believe so. Yeah, I'm not into that very much, but you know, that's what I was thinking when I was doing some human design work. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and actually, I can tell you about my own experience. You know, I had sort of I can't remember, was it defined sacral chakra issues, but when I did some energy healing, you know, that's something that I needed to focus on, address my creativity. It was like all over the place. And focusing on something, you know, that felt good, you know, that was really helpful. So yeah, it can make connections, but I'm not sure about that. I'm not really the expert.
Yeah, both in my head are defined. Everything else, like my throat is undefined, the root is undefined. So it's like my heart is defined, but my throat, and so it's like all this, I guess, need work.
Yeah, and I have like open head, so everything is open here, which is a good thing, but it's a bad thing. But now when I've been doing, I don't know, for the past year, this kind of a work, you know, I feel so grounded, feels so good. So you can change these and balance these. And what they say in human design is like, then you have to do the work, and it's often showing like, where is the work actually?
Mhm.
Yeah. But you know, go with follow your intuition. Any other questions at this point? Starting the shadow work? No? All right. Make yourself really comfortable. Take a deep breath in and out. But I will post the questions related to shadow later to the group, so you can really click clear. But after this, you can write down what came up, you know, what kind of, and you can actually connect with the shadow and see how she or he feels, and think about the integration. So allowing it, they always need love and acceptance, but it could be something specific. So just go with the flow, be open from the mind, from the heart. And at the end, we're going to do some healing for the chakras. So let's see, let me just take that. Okay, so take a deep breath in and out. Relax your shoulders. Relax your head. You can close your eyes. Deep breath in, out, in, and out. But I want you to picture that you are relaxing even more. I want you to picture all the muscles are relaxing, all the nerves are relaxing. Everything is relaxing in you, inside you, around you. Your conscious mind is already drifting away. You focus on your body and breathing in and out. And I'm going to call this shadow an overgiver, but if you have something else in your mind, you can use that. Because the opposite of overgiving is receiving, right? So I want you to picture a beautiful staircase going down, or any kind of a staircase going down, 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 down. You're going down, deep down on step 10. You're going deeper. 9, you're moving deeper. Take a step 8, you can see your feet, feel your feet. Feel your feet treading each step. You're moving down on step 7, going deeper into relaxation. 6, take a step 5, you're halfway there, you're moving deeper, going deeper. Take a step 4, you are relaxing even more. This beautiful state of relaxation is taking over your body. You feel good, so present. Take a step 3 and 2 and 1. And you're becoming more present. You are looking forward and you are walking. You're seeing this. There are many doors in this hallway. Any kind of a hallway. And you are seeing the door where there's an overgiver shadow. It says that on the door. And you open the door. And there's this person, this creature, your shadow in that room. And you are looking at this shadow, the overgiver. How does she look like? How does she behave? How does she feel? You're sitting on the chair and you're just looking, observing, you're listening because she has a lot to tell you. Your shadow has a voice and it tells you, what does she need? How does she need to be seen and heard? She feels safe to tell you because you are finally seeing her, accepting her. You're seeing in different ways. It's like all these things, this information is coming to you so easily. What kind of a behavior this overgiver has. Just observe, surrender to witnessing this beautiful connection. What are the qualities of this shadow? What are the parts that need healing? And your acceptance, and you are the only one who can heal this shadow because she's part of you. She was abandoned a long time ago, and very easily and gently she's going to tell you some memories related to this shadow. And remember, this behavior can be, her behavior can be interesting. So I'll just allow her to be her. What part of herself need healing? Need to be seen? Need to be loved? I want you to look at her very lovingly, like you would be watching and connecting with the beautiful, innocent child. And she's telling you, what are the memories from your past that are affecting you, or the shadow that made you abandon the sides of you. It could be that you can't express yourself, you were suffocated somehow, you were overpowered, you started bending yourself, hiding things about yourself, who you are, thinking that you're bad or behaving badly because you behave how you behave and you feel what you feel. Maybe there was something that you couldn't express your anger, it was not allowed. Maybe there was something that your needs didn't matter when you needed comfort, you didn't get that. Love, money. So part of this work is to make familiar again things that have not been familiar to you. And that could be the self-expression, something that makes you overgive. Please sell yourself cheaply somehow. Always being there for others, but forgetting yourself and abandoning this beautiful shadow. any kind of memories that are coming back to your mind, I want you to just take a really gentle note of them. And if you have one memory in your mind, I want you to start actually healing that. And how you heal it is to go back to that situation as yourself, or imagine and visualize other people behaving as you needed them to behave when you were younger. Or you behave differently in that kind of a situation. So, for example, if you were bullied when you were younger in this situation, you would be standing up for yourself and saying no, expressing what you don't like, and allowing them to listen to you. So this is just an example. So I want you to heal and fix and reprogram these memories, or this memory that is coming up for you related to this overgiving behavior and the shadow. Remember, you don't have to do this perfectly. You don't have to understand everything perfectly. You don't have to. You do it really well. It's enough for you to hear. And when you are healing the situation from your past, when you were younger, I want you to see that beautiful little girl, how empowered she feels, how joyful she feels. She's receiving what she needed. She's wholeheartedly getting it, receiving it. It's always been her birthright to have all her needs and wants met. Having unconditional love, abundance, success, happiness in her life. So allow this beautiful girl to be cheerful, playful, connect with you, feeling safe with you. You hold her, you hug her, you save her in your heart, and you both dance and do fun things and joy, and there's so much love here. She's so safe with you. So you are so present with her now and every day. You recognize her, you see her, you please her because you love doing that and because you don't expect anything back from her. She gives her love to you, her acceptance, her joy, her being. It's enough. You are enough. You are worthy. You deserve to have pleasure. You deserve to have everything that you have ever invested, all your efforts, all the money everything that you have ever put out there, you receive to have that coming back to you multiplied. I want you to start receiving that wholeheartedly from your heart right now. I want you to see your heart chakra opening up. Picture, connect. You can put your hand on your heart if it feels helpful for you to connect with your heart. I want you to feel this expansion from your heart area, from the back of the heart as well. So it's not small, it's huge. Your heart is huge. Your heart chakra is huge. It's leading the way. It's beautiful green. It's circulating. Everything is cleansing, going away. When you're letting go, you are surrendering to receive your highest good. Your higher self is here as well, the wise one. And I want you to imagine your higher self is like like a parent to you. She's the wise one. She is the clever one. She is the one who takes confident action. She's the one who speaks up. She's so fully worthy. And I want her to integrate with you and your body right now. I want you to imagine she is descending in your body, in your being, in your existence, and she is super confident. I want you to picture, how does she look like? I want you to picture your heart is being open, everything comes in. Now you need to receive and drink it, this beautiful light. Then you can start picturing the solar plexus chakra, the one above your belly button. It's yellow. It's like a sun is rising here. It's beautiful sunrise. What are you seeing? Your inner sun. It breaks up all the barriers, all the fences, anything that you have ever built up to protect your heart. This beautiful energy, this yellow color is powerful. Oh. It's reaching the tip of your toes, your forehead. It's surrounding you. These beautiful sun rays are cleansing your full aura. You create this beautiful, beautiful bubble of yellow energy around you, mixed with green color, where the inner child, your higher self, are fully integrated as you're embodying these beautiful, beautiful, authentic qualities that you have, your uniqueness. Now we're moving down. You can put your hand down. You can put your hand down on your sacral chakra. Let's activate that. It's like it's starting up the fire, the orange, the flames. It's like you're starting a motor, starting a car, a beautiful car, whatever you're picturing. Maybe it's a horse carriage. Picture that all the pleasures you want in your life, all the pleasures you have in your life, it's pleasure to be you. It's a pleasure to meet your authentic self in these powerful ways. It's activating, it's starting to circulate everything that it's not needed to be there. It's like flying away, releasing to the light, or composting to the earth. Just let go so that it's clean, bright yellow, orange, sorry. Beautiful, beautiful pleasure. You can feel this in your gut. Everything is working perfectly for you. You connect with your creative ideas, your creativity, your driving force. Focus is coming from here. What is that? What do you need to focus on? What is that? What do you want to focus on? When you're focusing on healing yourself and the relationship with yourself, you know, everything falls in place. Now we have the heart chakra is open. The green, beautiful colors are surrendering you inside you, around you. The yellow is still there, beautiful. Everything is shining bright. The orange is there. Now I want you to move down towards the first chakra. The color is red, if that helps you. I want you to picture how it's activating in you. It's like around your tailbone, your hips, your gut. This is the gut. And you're rooting down, down towards the earth. You're like a tree. And you're planting a new tree that has old roots, and old roots are activating your wisdom, your abilities to receive, your abilities to speak up, your abilities to manifest, your abilities to just sit still and watch what's happening, surrendering to receiving all your desires, real. Having the confidence to speak up, having the confidence to receive. We don't need to spend so much time with healing. I want you to picture all these beautiful colors and everything that is not part of that anymore. I want you to start receiving through all these chakras that have been activated. And you're rooting down and down and down, and you can put your hand on your lower belly and really rooting down if this helps you to create connection. And I want you to picture that you're receiving from the heart. You're just like flying with the open heart. And you're staying grounded. And things are just coming to you. But I want you to pay attention. What is that? What do you want to manifest and create? Your visions. I want everything to come to you and you're just receiving, and you don't have to do much of anything. This is grace and confidence. This is receiving your highest good. Whatever have you ever wanted, I want you to picture. Maybe it's money, maybe it's abundance, maybe it's love, success. I want you to go into details. What is that? What you want? I want you to focus on, from the heart being pure, having this full integrated. You're speaking on it from the place of honesty. You're so transparent. You feel your feelings. It's safe for you to own all the feelings. It's safe for you to hone all your feelings. It's safe for you to feel the fear, feel the uncertainty, if that's anything coming up, and you just let go of that. When you're rooting down, when you're focusing on confidence, when you're just feeling your feelings, you let them pass. You don't need to fix yourself. You are perfect. You are enough. You're worthy. You are ready. And I want you to picture one more time that you're supporting yourself. You're being supported by these energies, by your guides, by your higher self. And then we want to go back to that room and check in. How is your shadow doing? Does she feel seen? Does she feel heard? Or is she still feeling? Has she changed? I want her to integrate with you beautifully. You are all those qualities that you abandoned, and it's safe for you to own them and let them go. If you have said to yourself that you're somehow a bad person or somehow failed, that's not true. You felt true. And we all fail somehow, sometimes, not all the time. And that's okay. Empowering yourself, supporting yourself, encouraging yourself, acknowledging all the qualities in you. You're strong, you're empowered, you are capable. Now I want you to one last time connect with your visions. Picture your visions. What is that? What do you want to manifest in your life right now? I want to embrace all your wonderful qualities and think about the ways that you're going to, what kind of action that you're going to take, action with ease and grace, a little less than you thought, so that you can move the energy forward so it can come back to you, to your heart, from the heart, receiving from the heart. Things can come to you without effort. You just need to feel worthy to have it, that you are worthy to have it. So I want you to picture that you're taking this action with grace and confidence and joy. Just a little bit. One more time, I want you to connect with your roots, with the lower chakra, with the heart chakra, feeling this beautiful connection with all your chakras actually, because you need them all. Drinking in, letting anything go, what needs to go, if there's anything left. And then when you're ready, take a deep breath in, let out. And you can start opening your eyes. Hello, hello. And I would love to hear you if you're ready to share. If you want to share, that's all optional. You can speak up, you can type in the chat. How was that journey for you? How do you feel now? So every day focus on the heart, keeping it open. Is that something that you want to say? Oh.
Yeah, I just wanted to say I feel so much more grounded and peaceful after that, and feel so much more compassion for my shadow self. You know, and I mean, I have done a bit of shadow work in the past, but there was kind of a new dimension to the way that I encountered her this time, and I saw things about her that I hadn't noticed before, and so that was really valuable to recognize that and to see, to shine light kind of on these places in myself where I am still, you know, seeking healing. So yeah, thank you.
Beautiful, beautiful. And you know how to say about shadows, so she can be totally healed. And when you're doing the work, allowing for the next few days, connect with her, ask what she needs so that she feels empowered. Okay, so she will, you know, then it passes and they're not there, they're changing, they're transforming, or you feel like they're just becoming part of you. And that's a lot of self-acceptance, self-love there. And it's easier for you to accept those qualities in other people. They don't know you that much anymore. Thank you for sharing.
What I can share on my side is I realized that I've done some healing already. Like I can tell that by having to think about the same thing. I mean, I've done that before, and suddenly I realized I'm not in that place anymore.
That's wonderful.
Like yes, I do nurture and take care of others and all that, but suddenly I realize actually, I don't have I don't do as much as before. I mean, my kids are older, but I do it from a place of joy. I just suddenly realized that, wait a second, it's not something that I want to change.
Oh,
I'm
beautiful.
actually,
That's a big insight as well, to
yes,
accept that part of you so that you don't berate
yeah,
yourself for it.
I enjoy that. And I'm going to share something that I realized when I'm with I have a relationship right now, and I make fun of myself because when I am in his presence, I become like this giggly
Mm,
16-year-old girl.
mm,
And it's like, and suddenly as I was thinking about it, it was like, isn't she my inner child
yes,
that is suddenly activated?
yes,
So it was like a whole, like you said, a new insight.
yeah.
It's um yeah, so I'm feeling that I'm not in the same place. Like, of course nothing is perfect, but suddenly I'm like relating things, and it's not perfect and I still have work to do, but I'm not, yeah, I have,
You have
no,
moved forward a lot,
yeah,
a lot.
yeah, yeah.
I'm
So
so happy for you,
that was
so
exciting. Yeah.
wonderful. And you want to connect with that 16-year-old and ask what she needs,
Right, because I mean, a child is 16 is still a child, right? It
Yes.
doesn't have to be a 3-year-old or a 7-year-old.
No, and when we're talking about our younger self, they could be 35 years old and they need empowerment. It's like,
Yeah.
and I'm not talking about inner child, but they need empowerment. Something happened in life. You need to do that healing with her as well.
Yeah, so that was very interesting to think about that, and the joy that is coming, and it's like, who cares? That's joy.
Ah, yeah, exactly.
I'm
Yeah.
taking it. You can mock all you want. I'm I'm just taking it. This
I
is,
love this insight as well.
yeah,
And I think it's beautiful. And you just say like, hey, it's okay to be like this. It's okay to do this. It's okay to
yeah,
enjoy. Why I need to be in different ways? And that's a big insight. That's a big healing that is happening there.
yeah. So that was yeah, that was great.
Great. And I have to say, like, when we are working with the relationship issues or with the relationship, it doesn't have to be issues, but something things coming up. It's quite often the teenager version of us that are coming up, because then there's a lot of happening, the sexuality. It's not easy to be a teenager. There's so many things happening, a lot of confidence issues, who am I, what's going to happen in my world. I need to decide what I'm going to do the rest of my life, type of the things, changing schools, body changing, boyfriends, girlfriends, whatever is happening there's a lot happening. So quite often the teenager versions of us need empowerment when we are working with the relationships.
Yeah, that's yeah, it's true. Yeah.
And the pleasure there. So I think like you could teach her how to enjoy and have pleasure and how to receive. Because sexuality with the teenager, especially with the girls, they just think that they do what they need to do, unfortunately.
Absolutely. Yeah, and yeah, talking about sexuality, my 16-year-old was very nope, this is out of
Yeah, insecure. Yeah. So work with her, ask her, write down the fears, what's coming in the way. And you can do these visualizations, connecting with her body, allowing her to be respected, when in intimate relationships, allow her to receive the compliments. And you can ask your partner to give you compliments.
yeah.
Oop. Like
I mean,
this.
yes, I don't need to ask, but
Well, that's great. That's great. But what do you need? You can ask that if there's anything more you need. I'm happy for you
yeah.
if you are happy.
Yeah, no, that was Yeah, I thought about things that was related to express myself. So yeah,
Good. Oh, wonderful.
it was good.
Thank you so much for joining and doing this. And you can be so grateful and praise yourself for doing this kind of a work. I will send some questions related to this workshop, but you know, it will be good for you to journal about the shadow now, because it's fresh there. So just put things down. If there's anything you want to put down, how is she, what she needs, you know, what are the parts that, you know, you abandon, how is not okay for you to be, for example, or what do you think? And there's beliefs coming up in there, you know, for example, it's not safe for me to express myself or express my needs. That could be a belief. And you want to change that because you know it's not true. It's you are adult, you're grown up. And allow yourself to let go of this shadow, but not pushing it away, but seeing it, hearing it. It's a lot of similar work with the inner child, accepting the shadow. And I'll see you in the next month. And
Thank
let
you.
me know. I'm here to support. So if there's anything at all, please let me know in the group. So I'm here. Thank you so much.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
I'll see you. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Annie.